Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you my WWE NXT review for December 7th, 2016. And I know it's been a few weeks since I've been reviewing NXT. I kind of got off track with it. Pretty much the reason is because I've talked about this in the past. Because this was around the time where it was finals week. And then obviously the holidays, with Christmas and New Year's got in the way. And then I had to catch up with the main WWE product, so I didn't have as much time to watch NXT. But I'm going to finally watch NXT. The NXT is like one of my favorite things to watch. I mean, I'll admit it's not what it used to be. I definitely NXT I think is definitely kind of not as hot as it was in 2015. I agree with that. But I still like NXT. It still has some good stuff on it, so I want to watch. I still like to watch NXT, so I'm hoping I can watch it. And I like to watch tonight's episode because it's Wednesday, January 4th, 2017. So I want to catch up before tonight's episode. And I have 4 episodes to watch, but they're only an hour, so I think I can get through them pretty quickly. And then I can't wait to watch this episode. I believe in this episode, they're gonna. I don't think I've missed much. They're showing the tour that they've been doing in Japan because they did like a 2-week tour, and the match that they're gonna show here is the rematch for the NXT Championship between NXT champion Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura, which I kind of can't wait to see that. I already know who wins just because it was spoiled ahead of time, so you can't really avoid it because WWE itself had spoiled it. So I don't know where else. I don't know what else there is going to be on the show, but yeah, I'm gonna review NXT. I have 4 weeks episodes to cover, so let's get right into it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch it, and after each match or segment, I will come on here and talk about it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Okay, so we have Corey Graves and Tom Phillips on commentary for the show, but that does change later on in the show. And the first thing that happens is hashtag DIY comes out and cuts a promo. And this is the first time we've seen them since they had won the NXT Tag Team Championships. And they come out and they just start celebrating with the crowd, and they just are celebrating the fact that they are NXT Tag Team Champions, and they deserve to be NXT Tag Team Champions. I love DIY. But before they can say anything, which I kind of wish they could have said something, but before they can say anything, the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering comes out. And Paul Ellering says that the chapter is now closed for the Authors of Pain. The first chapter. They're undefeated in NXT. They won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classics Cup. And now, as for your NXT Tag Team title win, and then they get interrupted by the Revival, and they're afraid to face the Authors of Pain, so they go to the ramp, and the Revival say that they deserve a rematch for the NXT Tag Team Championships since they're owed a rematch, and they talk about how the Authors of Pain wouldn't have gotten as far as they did in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classics had it not been for them, because technically since they had interfered in the match they had with hashtag DIY. Then the Authors of Pain come up, they have a face-off with them, and the Revival are trying to cower it away, just because, they're big monsters, so it makes them, they should be cowering away. So the Authors of Pain shove the Revival, and Paul Ellering say that the Authors of Pain are going to be the next NXT Tag Team Champions. And then that was pretty much it. I thought this was a good segment here. I just kind of wish hashtag DIY could have said something after holding the NXT, after finally winning the NXT Tag Team titles, the titles that they had been chasing for. But I like and I kind of didn't really like that the Revival were kind of cowering away from the Authors of Pain in a sense, but it does make the Authors of Pain look like an intimidated tag team, so I did like that. But I also did like but I thought the segment was good because it sets up a lot of tag teams to go up against hashtag DIY, like the Revival and like the Authors of Pain. I would like to see another team go up against them in the future. But I thought this was good. It kind of shows off your tag team. So overall, I thought this segment did what it needed to do. Okay, so something I haven't been mentioning on this show, and I apologize, is this show actually isn't showing the Japan tour. It's actually showing, because right now it's in Full Sail University, so it's actually in Full Sail. I'm assuming that they just taped some matches when they were touring in Japan, so maybe throughout the few weeks they're going to show these matches in Japan, because they are going to show the match from Osaka, Japan, the NXT Championship rematch between Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. So I do apologize. I legitimately thought that was going to happen. Then it shows a video package for Showtime Percy Watson. Now, if you guys don't remember who Percy Watson is, back when NXT was the old format, when it had the 8 rookies and 8 pros, and you know, if you won NXT, you got like a title shot or whatever. Before it became like the developmental system, Percy Watson was on it. He was on season 2, and then he was on NXT Redemption that we don't want to talk about because that was bad. And now he's going to be doing commentary for NXT, it looks like. Because the rest of the show, he's been on commentary with Tom Phillips and Corey Graves. And I'm going to wait and see what he does. I think he's doing an okay job, but like I said, he's new at this job, so this is probably something that's new to him. So maybe, I'm going to wait and see how he does the next few weeks. I still think Tom Phillips is bad on commentary. I really want him off commentary of NXT. And maybe get somebody else to fill his shoes. But Corey Graves, I love on NXT. I think he's done great. I actually am happy that he's staying on NXT. But yeah, I'm going to wait and see how Percy Watson does on commentary. But now he's part of the commentary team of NXT. So now NXT has the 3-man commentary team. And then we get the first actual match on the show. It's No Way Jose and Rich Swann versus Eric Young and Alexander Wolf with Nikki Cross ringside. And Eric Young had Sawyer Fulton's jacket in his hands, and he tosses it on the ground, spits on it, and then tosses it out of the ring, pretty much saying that he's kicking him out of sanity. Now everyone's is probably questioning why this is happening. Well, I did read online that Sawyer Fulton suffered an injury and he's going to be out for a while, so that's why they wrote him out of the group. Which, you know, obviously kind of sucks, but, you know, what else can you do? He was injured. But overall, the match, I thought the match was good. Rich Swann, too, at this point, had just won the Cruiserweight Championship, so he was coming into this match as the Cruiserweight Champion. And I like the team of No Way Jose and Rich Swann together. I think they're a perfect tag team, and I really wish Rich Swann could kind of stay in NXT. They could kind of run with this tag team. But No Way Jose and Rich Swann work together, and Swann tosses Jose tosses Swann and hits a Hurricane Rana with Alexander Wolf, but then eventually Swann goes for a Hurricane Rana, but Wolf catches him like he's gonna powerbomb, and Eric Young tags himself in and takes a couple of punches on Rich Swann, and Wolf and Young pretty much dominate Swann throughout the rest of the matchup, and then eventually Rich Swann starts to make finally makes a comeback, and he makes the hot tag on No Way Jose, and he starts going off on Eric Young, and he's about to win with what's it called? He's about to win with a TKO, but Alexander Wolf breaks up the pinfall, so then Rich Swann takes him out, and he takes him out with a Phoenix Splash on the outside. And then No Way Jose, Eric Young tosses Rich Swann outside, tosses No Way Jose, sorry, outside the ring, and Eric Young goes to take him out with a dive on the outside, but No Way Jose catches him with the right hand, and then Alexander Wolf throws Swann into the steps, and then No Way Jose is about to get him back in the ring, but then somebody comes out and tosses No Way Jose into the steel post. And we find out that it's Big Damo, which I have no clue who this guy is. I legit don't know. And then afterwards, Eric Young hits a wheelbarrow neckbreaker for the win. And Eric Young goes over. And afterwards, Big Damo grabs the jacket of Sawyer Fulton and drops it on the ground and leaves. So I don't know if he's going to join Sanity. I have a feeling that he is. He's going to be the newest member. Yeah, I thought this overall was a pretty good matchup here, and I like the finish. I like the presence of Big Damo. I thought he had a good debut here, and overall this was a good tag team match. And then William Regal gets interviewed backstage, and he announces that on the January 11th episode of NXT, the Revival are going to get the rematch for the NXT Tag Team Championships against #DIY, and whoever wins that match is going to face the Authors of Pain at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, so I can't wait to see that match. And then Ty Dillinger comes up and he says, last week I said if I didn't beat Samoa Joe, I don't belong in NXT. So I wanted to come in and say, and then William Regal cuts him off and says, and announces that he's going to have I don't know if he said if it's going to be next week, but he said in the future he's going to have a tournament of one-on-one matches, and whoever wins those, and there's going to be 4 of them, and whoever wins those 4 one-on-one matches will get into a Fatal 4 elimination match, and whoever wins the elimination match will become the #1 contender to the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. And he wants to put Ty Dillinger in it because he believes in him and all the fans believe in him. And then Ty Dillinger thanks him, and William Regal's like, what is it? What do you wanted to talk to me about? And he says, never mind. And then William Regal wishes him luck. So, I like this backstage segment. Like I said, I like William. I've said this before a ton of times. I like William Regal as an authority figure. He just makes matches, and he's not involved in any storylines. And I like what they're doing with Ty Dillinger. I feel like he's very, very close to becoming like a breakout star. I think it's just going to take one big victory to get him to that point, and I think he will eventually get that big victory. So overall, I thought all this stuff on NXT was pretty good. Okay, so next, Sanity gets interviewed backstage, and the interviewer is trying to ask Eric Young why Big Damo was out there, but they don't answer. And then Nikki Cross starts staring at the NXT Women's Championship, and she stares at it like she wants that championship. And then Asuka comes up, and they have a stare-off. And this does seem kind of cool, because Nikki Cross and Asuka are kind of both similar in a way. Asuka is a killer and just destroys everybody in the ring. Nikki Cross does the same thing. She's that street fighter. However, I think it's a little soon to be giving Nikki Cross an NXT Women's title match. She's still really green. I don't think she's still very good. And I think she needs a little bit more time to be built up. She's really new. And if anybody should, and there's so many other people in NXT that could get that NXT Women's title match. So I kind of hope this is the direction they don't go in. And I hope they don't have Nikki Cross be the person to beat Asuka and have her have her first loss. So I really hope that doesn't happen. And then we had the next match. It was Ember Moon versus Kimberly. It was okay. But I thought this match was just going to be like a complete squash, but Kimberly did get some offense in, and it ended up being a pretty okay match. But Ember Moon wins with the stunner from the top rope, and that was it. This was all just kind of okay stuff here. Okay, so now we had the main event that was filmed in Osaka, Japan. It was the NXT Championship match. NXT Champion Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And only Tom Phillips and Corey Graves were doing commentary for this match. Percy Watson was not on commentary because this was filmed before he joined commentary. And this match, obviously, too, was in Shinsuke Nakamura's hometown, so he had the home field advantage here. And this ended up being a pretty good match. Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura start chain wrestling each other. Then eventually the referee, Samoa Joe goes outside the ring. Nakamura tries to go after him. The referee's holding Nakamura back, and Samoa Joe thumbs him in the eye. And he pretty much dominates the matchup for a while. He gets Nakamura into a crossface, and then Shinsuke Nakamura tries to counter into the armbar, but Samoa Joe's able to counter it. And Nakamura starts to make his comeback. He tries to go off the top rope, but Samoa Joe catches him into an enziguri. And Samoa Joe hits a suplex, and he ends up hitting and he tries to go for another suplex, but Nakamura tries to counter to a roll up. But Samoa Joe's too strong, so he ends up hitting the German suplex anyways. And Nakamura tries to go off of the ropes, and Samoa Joe catches him into an enziguri. And he tries to give him the Uranagi onto the steel steps like he has before, the way that he's taking him out. But Nakamura fights out of it, hits a knee right to the back of the head, and puts him in the ring. And he starts, he goes for the Keem Sasha, but Samoa Joe is able to move out of the way. Samoa Joe gets him into the Kokia clutch, but Nakamura is able to fight out of it. And Nakamura tries to pick him up and drop him down, but the weight's too much for Nakamura, and he ends up falling down, and Joe falls out of the ring. So Nakamura puts him in the ring. He goes off the top rope and hits a knee right to the back of Joe's head, and then he hits the Keem Sasha, covers him, and gets the victory and becomes the new NXT champion. And afterwards, he celebrates in his home, in front of his home country, and with his NXT championship. And overall, I thought the match was good. I thought the match was just good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was good. I enjoyed the match. I didn't think it was as good as like the NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 match or the NXT Takeover Toronto match. I would say the NXT Takeover Toronto match is probably the best match they've had. I thought that was really good. This match was just good. And now, obviously, I could make the rant about how, because Samoa Joe had just won the championship 2 weeks earlier from Shinsuke Nakamura, and now he's dropping the title really quickly. They flip-flop of the championship like they have. I'm not really going to complain about it because I think they wanted to have Shinsuke Nakamura come into his hometown and have that feel-good moment where he reclaimed his NXT championship. So I understand why they did it. But now Samoa Joe has made history. He is now the shortest reigning NXT champion in history. He's only held it for 2 weeks, so he pretty much made history 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Samoa Joe made history. Now he's the first ever two-time NXT champion, and now he's the shortest reigning NXT champion. So Samoa Joe's made history for 2 weeks. I think and he also is the first person to beat Shinsuke Nakamura since coming to NXT. So Samoa Joe has 3 things he can say that he made history off of. I think that's pretty good. And then Charlotte Caruso's in the WWE headquarters, and she announces that there's going to be a rematch in Australia. It's going to be the rematch for the NXT Championship between Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe, and this time it's going to be contested inside of a steel cage, and that match is going to take place on the next episode of NXT, which I can't wait to see that. So overall, I thought this match was ended up being okay, and I can't wait to see those steel cage matches because I think that's going to be really good because now they can kind of go. Because now they can now they won't have any limits. They can just pretty much beat the crap out of each other. So I thought I think that's good. It's a good way to end off the feud too. So overall, I thought NXT was an okay show this week. I liked the opening segment. I liked the tag team match on this show. I thought the women's match was okay on the show, and I thought the NXT Championship match was good on the show. I thought it was an okay show. I did like everything on it. It just was one of those kind of shows that kind of came and went. It didn't really feel special. It was just kind of like another episode of NXT, and it was just kind of like, let's just get through this week. But it's only an hour, so it's not like I'm gonna completely rant about it. So that's why I think I give NXT kind of the thing, because it is only an hour. But I did think it was an okay show, but it had some okay stuff on it. It just wasn't the quality that NXT usually produces for shows. If I had to rate the show, I would rate it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, an okay show. And that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my CM Brothers channel and my own The Talkinator channel because I'm going to be uploading some videos on there too. So that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.